everybody, welcome to another edition of Raw Dog Monday. I am the host of this show. I am Coach, here to recap everything with the We Book It podcast, boys. And here tonight, I have two of my great co-hosts. We got Virgil, the man running the controls.
What's going on, everybody? Good to see you guys, fellas. Good to see you guys. What's up, listeners, viewers? Appreciate you guys for tuning in.
And then we got the man, the myth, the legend, the current Booker of the Year and whipped man in his household, Fritos.
I hate you so much.
That's perfect. Perfect. Coach, so perfect. So perfect.
I hate you. Hello,
Tell Gabby I said hi.
My singles and tag team competitors. Hope you had a great Monday night. I hate you.
All right, guys. So we are on our way to Survivor Series and Monday Night Raw, starting to kind of paint the picture for us in this episode. So let's get right into it. We start out the show with Gunther coming to the ring for a promo, a advertised promo, I should say. And he talks about how he's going to talk about Damien Priest. But before he can even say anything about Priest, say his name, and Damien Priest appeared and said, I know exactly what you're going to say. And basically called out Gunther for every insult he was going to say about Damien Priest. And Gunther, for once, looked like a mortal man during this. Ludwig Kaiser then came out to defend Gunther. Gunther didn't appreciate that, thinking that he can handle his own battles. Priest then nails Kaiser out of the ring. Gunther tried to go for a sneak attack, but hesitated. Priest catches him. End of segment. Guys, what are your thoughts on that one?
I honestly thought that Gunther looked a little weak, to be honest. He lost his aura after losing to Cody Rhodes. There's something a little bit off about him. So I don't know what the storyline is going to be, if they're going to make him more human, because for a while he was that extreme tank, really, that no one could beat. He was that force that everyone had a hard time doing it. So I don't know what the exact storyline is going to be with him and Damien Priest, because I know they're not going to put that title back on Priest. I mean, at least for a couple more years, but it's just interesting. And there's also that tease more that Imperium's going to be breaking up shortly too. So that's also another interesting part about the story too.
Yeah, I thought that it was a really, really good segment. I know that Priest is trying to change his persona. He's gonna leave the dark, moody behind and kind of go for biker boy, hood, street kind of almost. So I'm interested to see how he grows in that persona and how this new era of Damien Priest, how fans take to it. I'm really interested to see what happens with that. Obviously, he's not going to win the match against Gunther. I believe that we haven't seen Finn Balor in a while. Finn will probably cost him that will cost him that World Heavyweight Championship match. Because he told him he would always have his back every single time. And then, like I said, I also think though Kaiser gets involved in that match and potentially almost costs Gunther the World Heavyweight Championship. So, but as far as this segment went, I thought it was a good segment. I like that it sparked my curiosity when Gunther wasn't so gung ho that Kaiser came out and was talking for him. It kind of made it look like he was like, bro, what are you doing? I don't need you to come out and speak for me. So I like where they're going with things. I like where it's heading.
Yeah, I agree. And if you mentioned Kaiser, if you noticed, Priest, he was wearing a Bad Bunny t-shirt. So maybe teasing a Bad Bunny return for this match to kind of even the odds. I'll be curious to see what that is, because anything in Triple H's era, nothing is coincidental. Everything has a purpose.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to the next segment, we actually have a match between Damage Control and Pure Fusion Collective, but with a special twist. Dakota Kai has returned from injury and was in the match. It was a 6-woman tag team match, and that's all I have to say about it.
Piss break.
One,
Basketball
two,
break for me.
3, Bulls break.
Oh, Bulls break.
Basketball. Mizzou break.
Bulls are playing the Cavs. And well, they were playing the Cavs at that time, and it was looking like the Bulls were going to end the Cavs undefeated streak, but Cavs pulled through, beat them by 6, 119-113. So, you know.
But any other thoughts on this match?
No.
I thought that Dakota Kai was going to turn tonight. I think they're going to build that up. I mean, we all know that she's in a relationship with Shayna Baszler, Virgil's girl. You know, Stew Mondays are amazing, but I think it's eventually that's what's going to happen. She's going to turn and she's going to join them. Maybe add some more flair, hopefully, to their group that they kind of need because they're kind of stalemate, kind of just boring. I think should just add some type of flair to them.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Shayna Baszler to me is one of the best wrestlers in that company. I mean, she just doesn't have personality that she's able to show. When you look back at Shayna Baszler's NXT run, I mean, it was immaculate. Like I said, like Triple H booked her perfect in NXT, and she did such a good job with carrying that women's division and being a crusher, a destroyer. Like I said, that Coquina clutch that she would do, I mean, it would just, like I said, demoralize opponent after opponent. Again, like I said, she's taking a step back here since she went to the main roster, but I definitely think if they bring up the Intercontinental Championship, make it a women's championship, that we could definitely see Shayna Baszler holding that title. As far as all this goes, like I said, I mean, it's filler. I mean, like I said, Dakota Kai had to come get back and stuff like that, but I don't think PFC is done with them yet, though.
All right, then moving on to a quick backstage segment between R-Truth and Kofi Kingston. Kofi talking about how he meant to thank R-Truth for all of his help a few weeks ago and basically started venting to him about Xavier Woods until Xavier Woods comes in and asks what they're talking about. Then that conversation is interrupted by Pete Dunne confronting R-Truth about still calling him Butch, to where R-Truth still thinks he knows that Pete Dunne and Butch are the same person, but maybe not. I don't know. That's the fun part about this storyline with him.
It's exactly like Tom and Nick.
Yeah, Tom and Nick right there. And Kofi stands up for R-Truth. That leads to this match between Pete Dunne and Kofi Kingston, and it's a pretty solid match. But what was the big thing was, while Kofi was being talked to by the referee, Woods dropped Pete Dunne on the outside. Kingston didn't like it, saying that he didn't need interference to win this match. Well, Pete Dunne takes Kingston out after they are arguing. He wins the match. Then Kingston and Woods both keep arguing the rest of the way. So I'll get my thoughts real quick. One of two things is going to happen. Either A, Kingston is going to turn heel, and they're just going to be, the New Day is going to be heel again, or B, the split's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my thoughts on that match. What are your guys' thoughts? Fritos, you first.
Match was all right, but yeah, it's just more showing how there's tension between them, and the inevitable split up is going to happen unless they do. Kofi just, is like, fine, I'm giving in, and does turn heel, which I don't see that with Kofi at this point with his character. Mm-hmm. It's going to just be the inevitable breakup of music.
Yeah, no, I mean New Day needs to break up. It needs to happen. I don't think that they need to continue this. I don't think they need to move Kofi into a heel spot. I like where Xavier Woods is going. And I like that, like I said, that he is taking a step over into the dark side, and he is choosing to, win by any means necessary. Like I said, I mean, he's tired of losing. New Day's been on a heck of a losing streak for a while here now. So I'm thankful that he is trying his hardest to, get some wins.
Sorry, Claude's
Uh
here.
yeah,
Big Daddy
I
C's
saw
on the line.
yeah, no, I can see Big Daddy C, but he gonna wait till after this segment till we go to the next one. But so we gonna like I said, I just think that it was awesome to see that, and like I said, I'm excited for the New Day celebration because I think that episode of Monday Night Raw is going to be legit, especially when you get the whole turn. And I think they might surprise us. Like I said, we'll see what happens.
All right, as we get Big Daddy C in, there he is. Getting
Y'all motherfuckers think I was done. I wasn't goddamn talking about these goddamn Bears, man. How you gonna cut me the fuck off on the last goddamn show? Y'all, you thought I was forgetting? I had to sleep on this shit, man. I had to sleep on this shit, man. Then to wake up, this motherfucker not even fired, bro. Like, what's going on? What's really happening right now? Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, come on, man. Like, I ain't got nothing else, but y'all go ahead.
Oh, that was perfect. Good to have you on the show. Good to have you.
It never ends, folks.
Yep.
So we move on to the next segment, which is a Bronson Reed promo. But before that, we see one of the storylines going into the night is Jay, Jimmy, and Sammy looking for the fifth member of their War Games team. And we get our first glimpse at them recruiting as when Bronson Reed is walking out to the stage, we see Jay Uso talking with Rey Mysterio. But that's probably just a tease right there. Then Bronson Reed comes to the ring, gives a short but sweet promo, calling out Seth Rollins. Rollins obliges. Chaos ensues. We see Reed do a suicide dive onto like 5 security guards, which was awesome. And at the end of this, Adam Pearce grants Seth Rollins a final match against Bronson Reed. Fellas, your thoughts?
Segment was short and effective. I love this feud. I'm upset that it's ending next week. But I'm only going to say is when Bronson did that splash on those security guards, we all know those 5 security guards are going to be your next World Heavyweight Champions or Intercontinental Champions because that's how it always happens with WWE. But, yeah, I mean, we saw that little tease with Jay recruiting Ray. It was just him, probably just reaching out to everyone because he said earlier how we don't have that many friends on Monday night. So I'm interested to see who the 5th member is, but continue on.
Yeah, no, I mean the segment itself, I thought like Frito said was short but effective in both realms. Like I said, you see the Usos, and Sami Zayn trying to recruit that 5th member, find out who's going to be the 5th guy for their team. I'm excited to see who that is going to be. I think we all might end up being surprised with who that 5th member might be. But whatever the case, obviously we know that Bronson Reed is on the rise. He has had a meteoric 2024. And I think, like I said, he's going to end up wearing a championship in 2025 because of just how much they're booking him to the moon right now. And he's killing it. He's crushing this opportunity. He's being cast as a huge monster, and he's living up to every sense of it. And like Coachman said about a month and a half ago, he loves that wherever Bronson Reed goes, chaos ensues. And I think like that needs to be like his calling card.
Man, all I gotta say is Ray needs to sit his little old ass down somewhere, man. We ain't trying to see his ass in no goddamn War Games match. What the fuck is really going on out here, man? But no, like I think it's not really that that tough. They making it seem like Seth don't want to team with these dudes, but I feel like it's gonna get to the point where their feud is going to spill into the Bloodline feud, and they're going to be on each team side. So it's going to be Seth on Team Roman, Team Bloodline, OG Bloodline, and then you're gonna have Maui um, on Team Solo. So yeah, it is. I think that's where they're heading at this point. So that's my thoughts on it.
You bring a good point there, C, because after Pierce gives the match to Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn approaches him and talks to Rollins about being the fifth member, putting the differences aside between him and Roman, to where Rollins says, and I quote, "You must be out of your mind to think if I'm going to team with Roman Reigns again." And they leave it at that. We then go to the ring for a matchup between Damien Priest, and
Damien Pierce is a new one.
yeah, that's
It's a new one.
yeah,
Never
he was
heard
a
that before.
running back, right, for the Texans.
Yeah, that is a running
Yep.
back. That is a running back.
Damien Priest takes on Ludwig Kaiser, and a pretty straightforward match. Nothing too special about it. Priest got the win, and then him and Gunther have the showdown, or the stare down at the end of the match. Straightforward, I thought. What do you guys think?
Yeah, the match just made Damien look stronger and Gunther a little bit weak, just how he just looks scared at the very end. The match was great. Kaiser's extremely good. When Imperium does break up, I'm expecting him to go hard in the mid-card title run for the IC title. But yeah, or the US. He may switch over during draft night to be with his girlfriend, Tippy Stratton.
Yeah, no, like I said, I mean, you can definitely always, for right now, book that Kaiser's going to have a good match. He's going to help put the guy over, make the other guy look strong. He's a great worker in the ring. I appreciate what he brings to the Monday Night Raw roster, and we're gonna see a more vulnerable Gunther because he won't have Kaiser taking his bumps for him anymore. That's going to be the issue. So. It's going to be different to see Gunther at vulnerable because he's going to have to lose, he's going to have to get beat eventually. And if he doesn't have Imperium at all around him anymore, if he's going to split up with Kaiser, and now we already know what happened with Vinci. So, I mean, like I said, then we'll see what happens. But it'll be interesting to see a more vulnerable Gunther, unless he just holds his own in the ring. But I truly still believe they're setting Gunther up to go up against, it's either going to be Punk for the world title or it's going to be Braun Breaker. Fixing him for the world title at WrestleMania, one or the other.
My bad, y'all. The automatic food dispenser went off. I'm sorry, but yeah, I didn't think much of this match, man. It's I don't like Kaiser like that anyway. Like, he's nice in the ring, but I don't fuck with him like that, man. Yeah, it's good to see Priest and Gunther go back at it again. I think Gunther will prevail once again. I'm hoping that Ela is back by WrestleMania, so we can get that match, because I'm still holding out hope for that one. So I want to see Gunther and Dragunov too, man. I think he goes against Breaker. Before then, I can see that happening at the Royal Rumble. And then eventually, I think they'll go at it I think it might be him and Ela. Actually, Ela winning the Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber match to go against Gunther at WrestleMania. But yeah, Priest ain't got no shot, man. He might get close. It's gonna be a good battle once again, but I don't see him beating Gunther. That's with or without Finn's interference. So.
All right, moving on to the next segment. After the commercial break, we get The Miz, who has been released by the Wyatt Six and is confronted by Karrion Kross in the Final Testament, asking him, "Where are the Wyatts?" To where Miz in total freakout mode, says he is asking for a leave of absence and does not want to be a part of this, to where Cross tells AOP to take him to the ring where they're going to break his legs. When they get there, Cross asks once more, where are the Wyatts? Only for the Wyatts to appear on the ring apron. And as they get into the ring, The Miz, with a bloodied eye, by the way, and I don't know how that happened, but good on him for working through that.
I think it's when they tossed him from coming out from the back of Gorilla, when they tossed him and over coming out.
Oh, yeah, you're right. And Miz hits Rowan with a steel chair, and then the Final Testament beat down the Wyatt Six, something we have not seen before, and then only for Uncle Howdy to get up to the ropes and start laughing as Cross stares concerned into the ring, knowing that he didn't defeat them yet. What are your guys' thoughts on this rivalry now coming to fruition?
I'm for it. We still don't know what the second War Game match is. I think we kind of have an idea. Not to give spoilers, but I'm sure we'll talk about it. But I want this to be a War Game match. It'd be interesting to have almost like a mixed match War Games. But yeah, for a little bit, Miz had me believing like, okay, he is taking that leave of absence. But then we saw that chair shot. It's cinema. But this feud, I love it. It's going to definitely bring out the best of Karrion Kross. It kind of has with his comedic roles outside, using social media, finding like the Miz action figure and being like, do I really have to go find him and all that? So I'm just more interesting. And just the fact that we're getting that supernatural side from Uncle Howdy, where he's still taking the beat downs. Instead of doing the Undertaker pop-up, we're getting the Uncle Howdy laugh, which I love.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at this feud, you can just see it's money. It's going to be money. Karrion Kross is finally finding his footing, I feel like, in WWE, which I think is something that he needed. And obviously, the Miz's money and whatever he does. I mean, a lot of people are going to hate, but Miz's Hall of Fame, it's a lot of people that would kill for Miz's life and his Hall of Fame resume in WWE. Like I said, I mean, he's one of the most successful WWE superstars of all time, and that's saying a lot. So. And then, like I said, I mean, the rest of the guys, it just works. It's gonna be a good feud. They're gonna have some good matches together. I agree, a War Games match would be good, but I mean, like I said, you already know they do one guy's War Games match, one ladies War Games match. So I mean, but we might get a traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series match with these guys, elimination match, which I wouldn't be mad about that either, because I definitely think we need to bring those back to Survivor Series.
Yeah, with this match, I think it was cool that like they actually made the Wyatt Six not look unbeatable, like unstoppable, like they actually had a moment in which like they got their asses whooped. And so sometimes I feel like with factions, you don't want to make them too dominant, like because eventually people get tired of it and it's like, all right, y'all just keep kicking people's asses every week. You know, we need to see a twist. So I think them getting their asses whooped tonight is actually a good twist to show us, all right, finally we got somebody that's capable of really like, holding their own with them. I feel like with the what was it, the American, was it American what?
American Made.
American Made. I feel like they didn't really establish themselves as a credible force to like really hang with the Wyatt Six. I feel like the Final Testament is a group that that can really hang with the Wyatt Six. So I'm excited to see what happens. I feel like that should be the second War Games match, and then the other, when we get to it, that other match should be a traditional match. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
All right. But so before we get to the main event, we get one more backstage segment, and it is actually a recap from this past Wednesday with a speed match between Sheamus and Braun Breaker, which ended in a draw after 3 minutes time and nobody pinned or submitted. This then leads to a challenge from Sheamus to Braun Breaker saying, I want my chance at the IC title, which Braun Breaker accepts. That'll be next week on Monday Night Raw. And before Breaker goes away, Jimmy Uso walks up and says, hey, can I talk to you for a second? I got a proposition for you. To which Breaker said, okay, I'm listening. And that's it. Real quick on that backstage segment, guys.
I'm looking forward to their match. I don't think Braun's going to drop the title yet to Sheamus. If they're going to give the IC title to Sheamus, it's going to be on a PLE where the shine's on him and not just a random Monday, especially since the episode's pre-taped due to Triple H trying to give the superstars some time off for Thanksgiving with their families, which that's much appreciated. Good on him. But it's interesting to see Braun Breaker as potentially a fifth member for them. Just how he had that issue with Jay saying your family's never beat mine. So that'd be kind of interesting to see with Roman. Now, if Paul Heyman somehow, shows up, I would like some type of interaction between Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker. They already did on NXT, like a little short, brief moment. But I could see Braun Breaker be a Paul Heyman guy, and that would launch him to the moon, and he would be potentially your next Brock Lesnar for the company.
Yeah, I think Jey Uso's gonna go hard on his brother for this one. Jimmy is kind of picking up some heel tactics again and stuff like that, and just showing you like he's not a baby face. I don't think, like, obviously going up against Sami Zayn, and him and Sami are feuding with each other. They got a lot to say to each other, which is weird because I'm used to Jay being the grumpy one, but now Jay's the peacemaker and whatnot. And then obviously, of course, Jimmy trying to go and talk to Braun Breaker after he just took the IC championship off of Jey Uso. That's not gonna fly. So Sheamus and Braun Breaker for the IC championship next week needs to have a stipulation, needs to be no disqualification or something like that. So that way it just adds a little bit of a flair to the match. Let them work outside the ring without having to worry about countouts or anything like that. And let's really blow this match up and make it a really, really good main event next week.
Yeah, I don't know. This one just doesn't pique my interest, to be honest with you. Now, Braun Breaker potentially being the fifth member, yes. But him versus Sheamus, I'm good on that. But I am interested to see how Braun plays. I doubt it if he actually is a fifth member. If anything, I would see him being on Solo's team more so than Roman's, because he's still like that natural heel right now. So, that's the way I look at it. I can see him being involved in this match, just not on Roman's team, but on Solo's team.
All right, so I did forget one more segment before we get to the main event. Seth Rollins is walking out of the arena, goes to the parking lot, and there's Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu waiting for him, and Solo pitching his idea to have Seth join his team because of their hatred for Roman, to which Seth says, I'm not teaming up with a Roman wannabe, and walks away. So I think we know how we all felt about that one. So we're going to move right on to the main event.
I love you, Solo.
All I'm going to say is they did tease a potential Seth Rollins versus Jacob Fatu match, and I need it.
Here for it.
That'll be money. That will be money.
All right, so we get to the main event, and this took me till the very end of the match to know that this was actually a tag team championship match. I just thought it was a normal tag match. Either way, it's Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Pretty straightforward match. And then all of a sudden, Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton come out to take out Bianca and Jade. That doesn't work. Then Naomi comes out to even the odds, but they're still one woman short. Enter Io Sky, and they brawl outside the ring. Jade eventually tags in Bianca, who hits Liv Morgan with the KOD, which I found interesting that they let Bianca get have her pin Liv, and then at the end of that, the four baby faces stand tall, and it looks like this might be where the women's war game match is going. And I'm just going to come out and say it. This makes no sense that this would be it. Why is Bianca okay with Io but not with Bayley? Why are Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton teaming up with Raquel and Liv after they just had a whole feud before Crown Jewel? This makes no sense in my eyes.
Coach talking that shit, man. That's what I love. That's what I love. He's speaking his mind. Don't make sense at all. Go ahead, Frito.
Now, same. It makes zero sense booking wise and storyline wise. The only thing that I will be excited for if this is the second War Games match is for Io Sky, because to me she is War Games. But from all her crazy stunts she's done in past War Games,
Oh yeah.
so it's good to have her on there because you know that's gonna be crazy. Something crazy is gonna happen in a crazy spot, and it's gonna be money. But storyline wise, it makes no sense. Maybe they'll pick it back up Friday or next week and say who the fifth member is and maybe explain why. But for me, I think Crown Jewel is almost one of those things where it's kind of just a wash thing. So they just don't care too much. But at the same time, they do. So I just need a little bit. I'm going to give it a little bit of time so they can at least explain it to us. I know Triple H will. It's just right now, but I'm still looking forward to certain competitors in the match if it is the second War Game.
It's quite simple, gentlemen. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. So that is what you're seeing here. That's why you see all these women who have problems with each other teaming up. And you're going to see dysfunction in this War Games match that I think will make it very, very interesting going forward.
I was just thinking about something as Fritos was talking. I was like, all right, they do the 5-on-5 for the women. And when each team has one more person to add. I was like, it's two women that's on the well, three really. You got outside of Asuka, you got two. You got two horsewomen that are been out for a hot minute. I would not be surprised if either the two or both of them were brought back for this match. Meaning Becky and Charlotte. I would not be surprised if both of them or one of the two are brought back to join either of these teams. So yeah, I was just thinking about that. I'm like, they're gonna want star power, like all the star power they can get for this match. And if they hold off a surprise or two for that match, why not bring both of them back? Why not bring both Becky and Charlotte back? Or one of the two, So I could see that happening. Maybe if they want to throw Bayley, if I feel like it might be Bayley too. It could be. It's so many options, but I think at least one of those three, and possibly Asuka if she's healthy, like one of those four could be in the mix. So.
All right, and then as we get the closing shot of the babyface, the women, we see a fan with two signs actually in the crowd. One saying "Fire Matt Eberluz," and fire Ryan Poles. And that's how we
Oh,
end
God.
Monday Night Raw.
Oh God. Are you for real, Coach, or are
Yes,
you like
I actually am serious. There were two
that
signs that said fire Matt Eber, lose, and Ryan Poles.
where were they at again?
Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Okay, so they still in the Midwest. Okay. Okay. I can see that.
I wouldn't lie to you about that, Big Daddy.
Shout out to that fan. Shout out to that fan though. They know what's up. They know what's up.
Speaking the truth.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen, that's going to do it for us here on this Monday Night Raw Dog. And to all of you listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel on all of our social media channels. For Fritos, Virgil, and Big Daddy C, I'm Coach. We love you all, and good night.
I love you, Coach.